Hello, good evening and welcome to my first play and first look at the Just Trains Class 86 for Train Sim World 5. We are going to be starting at 20:30 by your station clock on the screen, so you've got about 8.5 minutes to get those drinks and light refreshments ready.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Mind the gap.
Hello, good evening and welcome. This is your 5-minute warning. This stream will be starting in 5 minutes, having a look at the new Class 86 by Just Trains. Yes, we can. Anybody get the reference?
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes. This is a safety announcement. It is not permitted to cycle, skateboard, or rollerblade within the station building.
Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to another stream with me, Richard, aka Dabrail. If this does happen to be the first stream or video you've seen by me, then as I just said, my name's Richard and I'm a mainline freight train driver and former passenger train driver based in the southeast of England. And today we are checking out the new Class 86 by Just Trains for Trains in World 5. Before we jump in, who have we got tonight? Great Western Photography, Pig and Bob, Piglet Tube YT, Ted Reed, Jazil, Tolworth Broadway, good to see you. Luke Snowball, how are you doing? Typical Nathan, hello. Great to have so many of you in tonight. Okay, let's do this. As always, guys, all the views and opinions expressed within this are solely my own, may not reflect those of any companies I may be employed by or associated with, and all of that good stuff. Furthermore, Just Trains / Dovetail Games have given me the key for the train completely free of charge. But, as always, the views and opinions are solely my own. If I like something, I'll tell you. Equally, if I don't like something, I will also tell you that. So, that's enough chatter. Let's press the button, jump into Train Sim World 5, but not for long. Train Sim World 6 is on its way. I have tweaked some settings on the camera. If it does start glitching out, I will turn it off as usual. I think I'm starting to think that I do need to buy a new camera at this point. Okay, to the trains. Choose a route. West Coast Main Line at Preston to Carlisle. Timetable. And there we have it, the Class 86 in Intercity livery. Got a variety of liveries there. We'll go with the Intercity livery. I like the Intercity livery. Hey, Ted has become a member. Thank you very much, Ted. Much appreciate that. Piglet YouTube YT. Train Sim World 6 before GTA 6 is also crazy. Do not touch the live rail. Good advice. Hello, how you doing? Okie dokie. Got quite a few services there to choose from. Let's go for, I want something that stops. So, Poole to Glasgow Central via Edinburgh Waverley, 1 hour 24. I'm guessing that's going to be a little bit of a stopping service. So we'll jump on that one. Let's keep the dynamic weather and everything else turned on. Jack, good evening. Just got on my break. Good timing. Excellent timing indeed, Jack. Fantastic. And we are playing in driver mode. So we are going to be having all of the usual features tonight. We will be playing Locomotive Livery Location as we go along. If you've not seen that before, you will soon get the hang of it. GJ and Infinite Gaming, good evening. How are you doing? Great to have you. Typical Nathan, have you driven the 86 in-game before, Richard? I drove it long enough to get a screenshot. But I haven't completed any services or done anything significant with it. I've literally driven it enough just to get the screenshot for the stream. Okay, 1 Sierra 39, Poole to Glasgow Central and Edinburgh Waverley, 14:56 departure. And here we are in the Class 86. Nicknamed Cans, which is why on the thumbnail it says can. Yes, you can, or something to that effect. Lovely visibility out the front there with the 3 windows. Different to the 87s in so much that these are 100 miles an hour locos. Slightly older than the 87s as well, I believe. Right. Let's get it set up. Pretty standard English Electric. So AWS isolation switch. Change ends lever. Sounding good. Key on. Into forward. Lovely stuff. Doors on the right hand side. I'm just going to check the timetable. We've got Lancaster, Oxenholme, Penrith and Carlisle. Yeah, so we're on a northbound stopping service. Locomotive brake full on. And train brake down to first application. Right, let's get some lights on. Instrument lights on. Indicator lights. Headlamps. And marker lights as well there. There we go, guys. There she is, the 86. Can we find where the vacuum brakes are located? Luke, yeah, there's probably a changeover switch somewhere. We'll have a look for you. And got a mixture of looks like we've got a Mark 1 guards van there and a couple of Mark 2s. We do also have a Mark 2 buffet that has been provided as part of this. So we need to go and find that as well. Apparently it's staffed and fully stocked. Mic volume is quite low. How's that sounding for you now? Hopefully that's a bit better, Thomas. Let me know. Okay, right, we're just approaching departure time. Like I say, we will go and have a little walk through the engine room in a little while. You can walk all the way through there. And I'm expecting that vac brake switch to be in there somewhere. Loving the motor sounds. Yeah, they do sound quite nice. Typical Nathan. Okay, we've got a green, we've got an F. Doors are locking. We're in forward. Hopefully, with the best will in the world, this is all going to work. So, let's run it up a couple of notches. Do the brakes have to be fully released before you can run the power up? I think they do, because it gets upset with the dynamic braking. Come on, what have we got? Loco brake on. I'm better in real life, I promise. Please move. Way! As always, guys, if you need the game volume up or down or whatever, just let me know. Beautiful looking machine. Don't want to give it too much power as well, because it drives very similarly to the 87. If we give it too much power, it's going to overload and blow the VCB, and then we'll have to wind all the power back and start again, and we don't want to be doing that. Okay, green and an F running up. So I think somewhere in the yellow is okay for pulling away. Don't want to be sat there for too long though. Oh, we've got a nice peak off to our right hand side. Is that a peak? No, it's a 37, isn't it? No, it's a peak, it's a 40. You can tell I know my locos. Piglet YouTube YT, do you have to wait for notch to go back to 0 when the tap changes in the off position? Yeah, if you put the tap changer straight in the off position, you can't take power again until it's gone back to 0. Which is why you typically use the hold position. So you're only kind of shutting off if you're going to coast for a Yeah. So what you would do correctly is you'd put it into run down and you'd run the power down until the notch indicator goes down to 0, and then you'd go into off. Sort of going straight into off generally isn't pretty good practice. Jack, do you have any wish you could have driven in an older era? Each train very different to the next, harder technically to drive. I really wish I could have worked at a very big lever frame box. Yeah, I think we're quite lucky on freight, Jack, because, you know, I get to drive 73s and 57s and stuff like that, so we do get a little bit more variety. But yeah, I completely see where you're coming from. I think modern trains, especially like multiple units, EMUs, are like driving milk floats. You know, it's not driving as it was. Moore's Gaming, can you notch up while braking? I don't think you can because it's got dynamic braking on. I think as soon as you go into brake, it kills the power. Harry 11, how you doing, my friend? Let's give it a little bit more power there. Loving the clickety-click on the rails, the jointed rail there's. Loving the suspension as well. It's one thing that Just Trains have got done really well is the suspension. Obviously, it was one of the features implemented in TrainSim, but I think the way Just Trains have got it working is really nice. Right, I noticed my camera is glitching, so that has gone off, which is rather annoying. Okay, we're good for 80. Let's give it a little bit more power. Slight uphill gradient as well. 20 miles to Lancaster. We'll get a couple of flyby shots. Casual Rail, I can't drive this thing. It's you have to drive it. Casual Rail is what I'd say. I'll sort of try and explain the best I can. I mean, I've never signed these in real life, but I do sign Class 73s, which are reasonably similar in kind of the way you drive them. Thomas Cooper, the tones sound nice too. Piglet YouTube YT, if Class 37 is older than the 86, it would ruin my perception of time. Hey Paul, how you doing? I told you I was going to stream today. Yeah, no, the overheads do look nice, as that guy was saying. And Typical Nathan said the overhead wires on the 5 circles should be up this year to Dalmeny. Nice. Okay, my game is starting to lag a little bit. Hopefully it's just loading in the next tile. So if the stream looks a bit jumpy, that'll be the reason why at the moment. Okay, we're good for 100. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Full power. She's looking good. She's looking good. Let's see if we can get a flyby shot. I love the Intercity Swallow livery. I think it is generally very nice. We've got the BR blue on there as well. And it's got a tail lamp on the back of it as well, which I've not noticed before. That's pretty good. Ted Reed Mumrail is good, thank you. Thanks for asking. Infinite Gaming, yeah, not too bad, my friend. Been busy today. I went to Margate this morning to see the Rail 200 inspiration train come in. Not for pleasure, for work purposes, I'll add. And then I went over to the Chatham Dockyard Model Railway exhibition, which was really good. I managed not to spend too much. I bought myself one wagon, and that was it. So I'm quite pleased with that. Jack, the horn sounds like a teenage boy who's finding his adult voice. Fantastic. Leo Low, how do you know the max speed for your train? Like some carriages you're pulling may have a lower max speed. So Leo, you would have something called a tops list. So that's something that you get issued. All locomotive hauled stock, you get issued a tops list, and that'll have your maximum speed on it. Total operation reporting system. I can't quite remember what TOPS stands for. Right, I've gone straight into off there, which is a bit naughty. So we've got to wait for the transformer to notch all the way down to 0 before we can take power again. Piglet, how will it turn around if it ever hits an ending track? I mean, loco hauled stuff's used all over the place. So you just run the loco round, or you chump release. So you get a locomotive out the sidings to pull the coaches back out. Andrew, it would have been nice to see something like a Pendo or Class 8 OX in Intercity Swallow for Railway 200. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Paul, I'm jealous. Did you get anything nice? Rightio, what are we doing? We are no powering at the moment. We're just under 100 miles an hour, 14 miles to Lancaster, doing just what we want it to do. JB Priestley OM. I love the fact we've got a few different colour coaches in the rake as well. Jazzy's it up a little bit. Okay then guys, shall we play our first round of Locomotive Livery Location? If you've not seen this game before, you will soon get the hang of it. As soon as the jingle plays, post your numbers in the chat between 1 and 36. I will pick the third number that comes up on my screen.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Ashley, I was there. I was there first thing this morning when the train came in. I left about 10 o'clock, but I'm there tomorrow evening as well. I did have a walk through the train. It does look pretty cool, to be fair. TP175, the last 86 I drove was JB Priestley. Nice. Lawrence Adams, good evening, Richard. Did you see C2C is now owned by the public? Is it already been handed over? I know it's the next one to happen. I believe it's the next one to happen. Oh, Sound Fitted 47 and an NSE 86. That's got to be done, Paul. Beautiful stuff. John Ward flirt with a swallow, love it. Okay, third number on my screen is number 15, Pig and Bob. This might work. Is it going to work? No, it's not going to let me show you the numbers. Here we go.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Okay, so if you haven't seen this game before, guys, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give you box number 15. You've got 10 seconds to give me the locomotive, livery and location of what you think you see underneath. Here we go. Well, it's a good one to start on. What is it? Where is it? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. And just getting the power back in now because I've noticed we've lost a fair bit of speed there. 11 miles to Lancaster. Lawrence, yeah, I went to it today in Great Anger. Is going to be next month in privatisation on C2C now. Great Western Photography, the inspiration train is coming to the West Somerset Railway in November, so I'm planning on going to see there. It's off to the Bluebell Railway tomorrow evening. I've volunteered my services to drive it there, so looking forward to that. What are we reckoning? Luke Snowball seems like a Northern 323. Thomas Cooper, GWR80X. TP175 says Network Round Mark II Dibso. Ashley Coles has gone 395 at St Pancras. Great Western Photography has gone looks like a turbo. And GJ's gone at 170 up north. Keith Gillam has gone class 33. Piglet UTYT says must be a 170. And Andrew C has gone at class 319 at a station. Good selection there. No consensus. JACK, I'm going to guess Avanti West Coast, or West Class. Ashley Cole 66710 and 719 is amazing. Typical Nathan says Pendolino. Jack doesn't have to be modern day. It could be any era. Could be a GNER 40. Oh, I remember GNER. Used to love the white rose sets that they used to run on the lead service. Never got to travel on one, unfortunately, but yeah, fantastic. I think they used to have massive power issues with those. Sort of understandably, I guess. This really is a good route for train sim. I thoroughly enjoy this route. How are we doing on the speed there? Just about holding 100. So we're about 96. we'll take a couple of notches of power out there. So I'm just going between the notch down position and the hold position. And I think that'll do us about there. Looks like we're not picking up speed anymore. Maybe we'll take a little bit more out just to be on the safe side. Where are we at? So we're about 30% power now. Speed's holding 95-ish, so we're in a good place. We're happy, happy, happy. Thomas Cooper, you can achieve about 150 on this route in this loco with a train. You probably can, to be fair. I'm not sure what the ride quality would be like. It'd be all over the place. It'd be like doing 100 in a pacer. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Jack. Yeah, Thomas, as Jack rightly says there, that would be a tea in a court case with a manager. No biscuits. Piglet YouTube YT, what if you were on full notch at 100 miles an hour? If you were on full power holding 100, then you're probably going uphill or you've got a heavy train behind you, but yeah, nothing wrong with that. So I'm just going between hold and notch up there, just give it a little bit more power because we are losing a bit of speed. Oh, bouncy, bouncy through the points. Currently taking a 37 container train up Shap, says TP175. It isn't going well. It'll make it. It will make it. Okay, we're doing 5.4 miles to Lancaster. 74 of you lovely people watching, which is fantastic. If you haven't already, guys, please do hit the like button, consider subscribing. That would be absolutely awesome. Fandabidozy. Could a train theoretically go above the maximum speed if it was at full power at its top speeds? Yeah, Piglet YouTube, it absolutely could. A lot of trains have got safety systems built in though, so if you do go above the maximum speed, they will just put the brakes on because they're not designed to go at that speed. But yeah, in theory, if you didn't have those systems in there, you could just keep it wide open and it would keep accelerating. Leo Lowe's become a member. Has been a member for 30 months. Thank you very much for your support, my friend. Thomas Cooper, TO175 37s are good, but we need 2 for that if you want more than 5 miles an hour. Yeah, up Shap, that is quite a grade. TP, let's say we're at West Somerset speeds. Great Western Photography, looking forward to photographing 66748 next week on the debut of Britannic Explorer to Cornwall. Yeah, but a little bit of involvement in that service, so I'm pleased to see that out and about. I think it does look good. And I wasn't too sure about the BR Blue or the blue on the locos, but it's grown on me. I haven't seen it in person. I think it looks really nice. The game is lagging a bit. It's 2 flashing yellows. Okay, I was going to say it's a little bit laggy at my end, but not too bad. And I've just gone straight into off, which I shouldn't have done. Which, until it notches down, we're going to get no dynamic brake application. And I'm all fingers and thumbs on the buttons. One flashing yellow, let's get some braking. So 1 flashing yellow means I'm expecting to take a diverging route at the next signal. So we'll start getting some braking. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on tonight. The game is actually lagging out a fair bit at my end, which is unusual. Normally it does run pretty smooth on my computer, so yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Great Western, the route is a little laggy route with how much detail there is. Yeah, previously it's run okay for me, so it's yeah, a little bit frustrating. Lee Grant, hiya, I'm here from watching Rex Tactics live stream. How you doing, Lee? Good to have you here. Okay, she's coming down nicely, just approaching 50. So we're expecting one yellow and a junction indicator on the next signal, and then the one after that we are expecting a red. Paul, with that performance you're so much better off with a TS Classic route. Yeah, so it's normally pretty good, Paul. I don't normally get any major issues performance-wise. I'm just not sure what's going on tonight. Might have to dial down the graphic settings a little bit. Okay, red ahead. We're 15 through the points coming up by the looks of it. Let's get a little bit more break, and we're still a little bit over that. Hope the passengers are not on the soup course because they've spilt it all over the place. Looking really nice as we come into Lancaster here as well, with the castle there. I think we're doing a Lumo through the points. I've been told not to say that. Come on. Lose that last bit of speed there. Come on, that's it. You can do it. You can do it. Give it a little bit more break. There we go. GJ, is the red tape on the power handle a design flaw, then something that solved the problem didn't need improving on? I think it's just because the controllers get worn away, GJ. You put a bit of tape on them just to make them a little bit more comfortable. Some of the Class 73s and stuff have got like heat shrink on the controllers, just where it's like bare metal, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, it does the trick. Bit of insulation tape or whatever else, or duct tape. Yeah, bit of whatever. Jack and Lumo through the points. I've been told not to say that, Jack. I'm going to get all views and opinions are my own and all that sort of thing. Okay, let's see if we can get a half decent stop. We are running well late as well, so it's my terrible driving. And stopping a passenger train, we always want to stop on a rising brake, which I didn't do there, completely failed. And loco brake on, and then service brake. Unlock doors. Okay. The railway's held together by duct tape. Jack, you're completely right. What do you need in your toolbox? Duct tape and WD-40. Check out the engineer's flowchart. This was a good journey. It was absolutely terrible. Richard, what's happening with the 5158 timetable? No idea, typical Nathan, I'm afraid. Trainboy, Deborah, good news on the Severn Valley Railways reopening the full line on Saturday next week, and the Flying Scotsman get the one to reopen the full run. Nice. AWS is fast. It's an interesting AWS sound, isn't it? Oh, well, it is a charter. I don't think the passengers will mind a mile in a delay. I think this is a service train. Wait until we're departing on time. That's the main thing. I don't like the fact that it's now going to force me to close the doors against. Okay, the signal has come off now, so that's okay. But I don't like the fact it forces you to close the doors against the signal. Okay, let's give it a couple of notches. Loco brake off. And we literally only want to give it a little bit of power just to get the loco moving. That'll take all the slack out the coaches, and then once the train's moving we can power it up. Very careful not to overload it. So we will go and have a look through the train in a minute as well. See if we can't find the buffet car. Get ourselves a British Rail sandwich, which I'm told are absolutely fantastic. Loving the flashy tail lamp on the back there. Okay, what are we doing? Well, oh, it was 15 miles an hour coming out there, so we're speeding. That's not a good start. Okay, we're good for 25. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Time to head to the lakes. I've not been to the Lake District. I've been through Oxenholme on the West Coast Main Line, but I've never been to the Lake District. It's still on my my to-visit list. Okay, let's get a bit of speed in. Amps are coming up nicely there. Got a slight downhill grade. And I think it's time to press the button.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Another rainbow train coming the other way. Look like a rake of Mark III's on that one. Great Western, you'll be surprised how cheap things are in the buffet car. Compared to real life, I should imagine they are. Which is better, BR Blue sandwich or Intercity Swallow sandwich? I like both liveries, if I'm being honest. Come on, let's get this thing moving. I love the way you can hear the tap changer in the background as well there, clicking away. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's do the numbers. GJ, you are the third one on my screen, my friend, with number 24.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Here we go, going to give you 24, 10 seconds for that Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Okay, there are 2 trains in this picture. I'm going to give you that much. I'm only looking for the one that's in focus and clear, but if you can give me both, then even better. Any ideas? Any ideas? And let's keep it going. Full power. So the Morecambe branch goes off to the left-hand side. Raygun, how are we doing, my friend? Done the FHE 125 group charter down to Penrith today. Nice. It's a weird place to be, isn't it, when you know HSTs are doing charter services. Jack, that looks like a TPE 185. Oh, I've just gone through the neutral section without shutting the power off. That's really bad. Not paying attention, you see. Looks like excuse me, that looks like a Pendolino, typical Nathan, 390 at Manchester, I think. Didn't Prue leave out the Great British Menu redo the BR sandwich? No idea. And a class 170, GJ saying a 170 at question mark. Okay, power's come back to 0, so hopefully we can start to bring it back in again. There we go. It's coming up, it's coming up. Yeah, game performance is generally pretty laggy tonight, so yeah. I don't know if it is a route thing or whether it's a computer thing, but it is not great. Rightio, we're back up to full power. Thomas Cooper, the West Coast's one bit of coast. Yeah, absolutely. They call it like the West Coast Main Line, East Coast Main Line. It goes nowhere near the coast. Taylor 40667, can class 91s go full power at 30 miles an hour, or is the amps too much? I'm not entirely sure, Taylor, to be honest with you. It probably depends on what sort of weight you've got on the back and lots of other factors. Yeah, genuinely don't know the answer to that. Jack, I've had the Midland Pullman 43 a few times in the last few months. Sort of a charter. I've still not seen that one, Jack. Okay, let's start to run back that power there. Try and hold it somewhere around 100. Ian Jackson, good evening. How you doing, my friend? Ashley Coles has gone 375 at Ashford International. Harry, camera, I think I'm probably just going to have to buy a new one because I keep playing with various settings. I've changed the lead and it just doesn't seem to want to fix it. Hello, I am here. I am not an AI. Well, I might be. yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't know, unfortunately. Okay, wherever this is, we're not stopping here. So I genuinely don't know this route, so Carnforth. Another 86 coming the opposite way there, lovely stuff. We'll take a bit more power out there because we are going to creep over 100 if we're not careful. Peter Edmonds evenings, the 86 is fantastic. Okay, not as powerful as the 87, but sometimes the fastest car around the racetrack is not the most enjoyable to drive. Really well put, Peter. I like that. I'm gonna take that and nick it, and I'm gonna use it. Lee Grant, I usually watch paranormal shows on YouTube Sunday night, but this makes a change. It's good to have you here, Lee. Let's start getting a little bit of power in there, just trying to hold that 100 as the gradient changes. Ian Jackson off to King's Cross tomorrow on the Azuma from Leeds. Oh, Ian. I think it's like 40 quid for a first class upgrade. If you can, it's well and truly worth it because you get fed and you get a comfortable seat. The seats on the Azuma are just... I went to Newcastle on one a couple of weeks ago and I wish I'd paid for the first class upgrade because it's just awful. Absolutely awful. Had a win though coming back from... I went to Peterborough Thursday and come back on a 225 set, a 91, which is fantastic. Yeah, Thomas, there's still a few 91 diagrams left. Yeah, I'm not sure I like the LNER livery on the 91 sets though. They kind of got this off-colour swallow livery. It's like, no, it's just wrong. I mean, you don't need to do that. Just make it Intercity Swallow. You don't need to have kind of this off-brand swallow livery. Peter Edmonds, I couldn't possibly comment. I watch this space. That's all I'm prepared to say on the matter. Beautiful. It is a really stunning route. So I've run back my amps to 0 there so I can put my power controller in the off position quite safely. Might think about first class, see how I feel. You get a breakfast in as well, like complimentary breakfast and stuff. It is good. Thomas Cooper kind of like it, to be fair. I'm just personally not a fan of it, Thomas. Jack, cab ride to Zuma's last year. Must be said the second person seat in the cab is far comfier than the ones in the back. I've not done an Azuma, Jack, but I've done the Great Western Cucumber, same thing really, and I've done the Javelins, and I just found that you don't get any sense of speed in them. It's really weird, because I think you sit so far back from the windscreen, you don't really get a sense of speed. Great Western Photography, all the TSW fanboys are going to be like, 73 is coming to TSW. So I was involved in some sort of sound recording project, but that's as much as I can say, and you know, I couldn't tell you any more. Harry Cross, day before Father's Day, I needed to do King's Cross to Stevenage. The Thames Link call had packed up, so there was nothing going north for a while. And then the first one out in about 2 or 3 hours was a 91. Very nice indeed. Yeah, no, they are nice. They're far more comfortable. It's like if I go to Birmingham, I'd rather go up on the Chilterns, see if we can get a Mark III DVT set with 68s. Much more comfy than the Pendolino, in my opinion. Okay, we've got 100 coming up, but we're absolutely fine for that. We'll run a little bit of power out of it. So I think some people get confused with the hold position on the power controller. Hold does not hold your speed. Hold holds the power notch that you are in. So I think there's a lot of people think you go into hold and it's supposed to hold that speed. It doesn't. this is your power notch. So run up will take your power notch up, run down will take your power notch down, hold will hold it where it is. It does not hold your speed, it just holds the amount of power that you're giving the loco. Lee RN, yeah, I drove the Javelin as a shunter driver, so I was allowed to drive it in the yards and to and from between the station and the yards. I've never drove it on the main line. Peter Evans, I'm doing a South Wales to Crewe return next month for my birthday, class 67 with 225 stop, first class both ways, with the fantastic chef service. Yeah, I've heard the Transport for Wales catering service is pretty decent, so you should enjoy that, Peter. I hope you do. And happy birthday for next month. Jazeel, 225 day for me was a 91 up to SVG. Wait there for a few hours to come back on a 91. Where is SVG? Called Stevenage? Jack, I was cab riding sprinters most of the days, so very unready for being in the Azuma. The height of cab and the size of the nose felt like I was in a different postcode to the nose of the train. They are really spacious, those cabs though. And then you get into a cab of like a 170, which is absolutely tiny. Yeah, huge difference. Okay, 3.6 miles to Oxenholme. I think we've got time for one more round of Locomotive Location livery.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Harry Cross, yeah, SVG Stevenage. Okay, get those numbers in, guys, between 1 and 36. I'll pick the third one that comes up on my screen and we shall play. Okay, 2.8 miles, we've got a 90 coming up as well, so let's run that power down. Anyone want to choose some numbers? Rick Ashtray, you're the first one in. Leolo, you're the second one. Luke Snowball, you've got the third number on my screen, my friend, with number 28.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Here we go, guys. Going to give you number 28. 10 seconds for that Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Hey, that's a good one to be getting on with. Does that help you guys? I'll tell you what that looks like to me. Might be a Southeastern 376. Kind of blue on the top. Looks a little bit familiar. No? Just having my guess. Okay, line speed's coming down to 90. We're only 1.4 miles out, so let's start to get a little bit of brake in. Neutral section. Peter Evans, SVG is Sauvignon Blanc. I'm quite partial to a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Great Western, I need to spot a glass 68 at some point. Never seen one on my to-do list. Daventry's quite a good place for 68, so anywhere on the West Coast main line really. All the Trans-Pennine ones have gone out, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, and of course Chilterns. How are we doing speed-wise? We should get a little bit more braking, otherwise we're never going to stop. Jack 323 at Pick. Ashley Coles 4659 at London Victoria. Great Western Photography 376 at London Bridge, New SC livery. Jazeel 376 and 395 could work. I mean, it might not be. I could be misleading you. I mean, would I do such a thing? Yeah, probably would. Okay, this is a much better approach than what we had into Lancaster so far. Let's not jinx it. We are going uphill, that's why I'm slowing down so quickly. I was just thinking my speed's coming out really quick, and then yeah, just check the gradient profile, and we are quite steep uphill. So I could have left my braking a little bit later and let the gradient do some work. You can definitely tell that this is not a route I'm familiar with driving, or even travelling on. I think I've been on this route once. I went up to Glasgow Central. I think it's the only time I've been on this route. Typical Nathan, we're coming into Oxenholme. first application. We're going to be a little bit short there, but not to worry. And then try and stop on a rising brake. Brake in, straight air, and doors on the left. Although, to be fair, with the slam door stock, everybody's already got off on walking down the platform before we've even stopped. Paul Wilkinson, I've got a RTX 3090, Intel i9 11900 something or other. Yeah, it's about 3-4 years old now. It is very warm in here though, so I'm wondering. I've got sort of an aircon unit running, but it doesn't seem to be doing very much. So it could be that it's just getting a little bit hot and throttling itself back. Oh, we've got a guards buzzer. I hadn't noticed that before. That's nice. I like that. Oh, hello 101. Okay, train brake round into running. Just give it a couple of notches. Loco brake off. Like I say, pull away nice and slowly. Just let the loco take the slack up in the coaches. So where we've stopped, all the buffers have become compressed. Although I think it's Buckeye couplings between the coaches, so possibly not. Pull away nice and slowly. Just stretches out all of the couplings. And once the couplings are stretched out, we can accelerate. Beautiful stuff. I think the coaches look good. Right, we are off to Penrith. Someone says it's B on the keyboard to buzz back. Absolutely is. Daytona, how are we doing? Hello, Richard. Your buzzer is by the left armrest, if I recall correctly. Absolutely is. Richard, will you stream 5 Circle again one day? Yeah, I can do 5 Circle again. I do quite enjoy the 5 Circle. I think when you've got the mod on there that allows you to have like the Azuma and the HST on there, it's really nice. Yeah, Greenacre's really nice mixed rake of coaches. You do get a lot of variety in colour on this route. It is nice. I suppose we're kind of in that 1980s BR era though, aren't we? So it's as it was in real life. But so yeah, there's been some Mark IIIs knocking about as well on some of the other services we passed. Yeah, definitely a good selection, good variety. Okay, we're heading up towards Penrith. Let's get some power in. Being very careful not to overload the motors there. Coaches sound amazing. Wait until you hear the flange and brake squeal. Oh, sounds like we'll have to do an outside approach to a station. So, 24 miles to Penrith. We've got quite a run, which gives us time to do a couple of rounds of Locomotive Location livery. Anyone else getting glitchy sounds, or is it just me? All good my end, Paul. Stream is not showing as having dropped any frames, but Thomas Cooper, core game feature. No comment. Taylor 40667. Is this the steepest part of England's route, the Shap Plum? I believe it is, yeah. I'm not massively familiar with the area, but I know Shap's quite notorious. But yeah, I believe quite possibly it is. Luke Snowball, we can recreate Caledonian Sleeper with the new coaches. Kind of, yeah. Okie dokie, should we press the button? Let's have a little go Locomotive Location.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Let's get those numbers in between 1 and 36. Definitely sounds nice. How are we doing speed-wise? Oh, okay, we got a little bit of room there. Licky is steeper. This is Great Western Photography. Okay, we've got some numbers coming in. Seems to have quite a lot of latency on the stream tonight. Third one on the screen, Pig and Bob. You've got it, my friend. Number 20.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Here we go, guys. Going to give you number 20 this time. 10 seconds for that Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Interesting. Anything in there to get your location from? What is it? Where is it? TP175. Shap is notorious, but the steepest sustained gradient is a Licky incline on the Birmingham Cross City route at 2.4%, I believe. Which, of course, Birmingham Cross City we have got in game between. I'm trying to think of the name of the stations. Barnt Green, possibly Longbridge. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the station, but yeah, we have got that. We have got the Licky incline in game. I remember that much. Let's give it a bit of power, try and keep it to 85. Thomas Cooper, 323 Airport. That's the Northern 323. Stockport says Great Western Photography. GJ Class 166 Reading. Bouncy bouncy on the train. Typical Nathan, will Cross City ever get extended? I think we've got the whole of the Cross City network, typical Nathan. I mean, it'd be lovely to get like the West Coast Main Line continued. But yeah, I think in terms of the actual Cross City network, I think we do have it all. Ashley Coles, 395015. Seb Welch likes trains. Hello Seb, how you doing, my friend? Rightio, we're approaching 80. Let's start just to back that power off a little bit. Hear that tap changer going behind us. Does sound nice. We'll see if we can just sort of hold 80. Give it a little bit more power there, which is losing too much speed. Licky is Broomsgrove and Palm Green. That's the one, Great Western Photography. TB175 South Eastern Refurb 376 Bromley South. Yeah, we've got a few differences of opinions. Tony Wilson, how you doing, my friend? 8687. Love the 8687 noise when power is turned on. Yeah, you can't beat the sound of proper old locos. It's yeah, nostalgia right there. The gradient's very deceiving here because it looks like we're going downhill, but of course we're climbing at quite a rate. But it's just kind of got that look of we're going, oh, bouncy, bouncy. It kind of just looks like we're going downhill. Speed limit has come down to 80. We'll take a bit of power out. And we are on the level as well now. Oh, we're going down. And we'll have to go straight into off so we can get a little bit of brake in. You've kind of got to, so when you're driving tap changes like this, you've really got to know your route and your gradients. Because everything takes so long. It takes a long time to get the power in, takes a long time to get the power out. So you've really sort of got to know your route and know your gradients. It is an absolutely stunning route, though. I wonder if Just Trains are going to add to it, because we've had Blackpool branches and now we've had, you know, this bit heading north, and I just wonder if, you know, if it's something they're going to continue, because it's such a great range of rolling stock. I'd love to see maybe the route continued up to Glasgow Central, or maybe head south from Preston. Yeah, be interesting to see what they're going to do with it in time. Let's see if the neutral section north of Penrith behaves. Very iffy on Xbox. Oh, okay. Luke Stubble, Penrith feels weird to be, as it's a station on the West Coast main line with no branch lines or other places used in the past. Penrith is the odd one. Beautiful scenery, though. Typical day from Richard would be cool if they get the Tay Bridge in Train Sim World. Okay, 90 up to 100. Start getting some power in. Would love to see the line down to Crewe, TP175. Yeah, Crewe would be a good shout. Lots you could do at Crewe as well in terms of like the yards and the depots. Lots of freight potential. Carlisle to Newcastle would be good. That's quite a route, Thomas Cooper. I think the original Microsoft train sim come with the Class 50 in Settle and Carlisle. Settle and Carlisle with the Ribblehead viaducts and stuff. That would be pretty nice. I was in Newcastle a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, didn't get to ride the Tyne and Weir, but quite impressed with it. Right, speed's coming up nicely. We're getting closer to 100. 19 miles to Penrith. Penrith, and then Carlisle. Decent length route, this one. You do get a good run of it. Poor while with this performance, there's no way they can pull off Crewe's yards. Yeah, I mean, it's like on the West Coast main line, isn't it? You know, Wembley looks half empty because, you know, you can't fill it up because of the performance issues. Lee Grant, will there be any more routes for Train Sim World 5, or is that it now? I suspect that's probably it, Lee. I don't know, but my suspicion would be that's probably it. With TSW 6 been announced, I would imagine that's all we're going to get. And we're shutting off there on the level. Neutral section. I was shut off for the neutral section. That was pure skill, not accident. Thomas Cooper, yeah, the only feasible way if doing Crewe is to out of bounds a large bit. Peter Evans, north of Carlisle would be boring. Best thing they could do is down the Settle and Carlisle line, 1980s. Both ends are there, no brainer. Yeah, I don't disagree, Peter. Settle and Carlisle, I think, would be good. Nice mechanical banner repeater there. Start getting some power in. Like I say, you've really got to know your gradients when you're driving these tap changes, because they just take ages to run up and notch back, notch up and run back, whichever way round it goes. So like I say with this, we've got a decent run between stations, but this also highlights one of my biggest issues with Train Sim World in its current form. We know between here and Penrith, the next thing I'm going to have to do, other than maybe a couple of speed limits en route, is brake for Penrith Station. You know, there will be nothing on this route that happens. We're very unlikely, not impossible, but very unlikely we're going to get checked down on a yellow signal. The next one will be now, I've said that. It's, you know, we're not going to come across track stuff, we're not going to come across temporary or emergency speed restrictions, we're not going to, you know, the drives are all the same. Once you've done it, it's just the same. Seb Welch, I've missed your previous comment. Hey Deborah, my departure board is set to Carlisle. Those departure boards are so cool. I've got to get myself one. Typical Nathan, I want Edinburgh to Newcastle with the Azumas in game. I think if I was going to have East Coast Mainline extension, I'd probably like to go south. I think south is a nice run and it would give us more scope for the 700 and the 387s. I think that would be pretty cool. Joel Crosby, how are we doing? It would be cool to see the APT on this route. They'd have to add the EPS boards though. Yeah, APT would be an interesting drive. Definitely would be an interesting drive. Richard, have you ever played Terminal Railways in Roblox? I haven't, no. Yeah, so we're in full power now and we're not making 100. Someone was asking about that earlier on. It's because of the gradient and the weight of the train. Come on, you can do it. And when we get to Penrith as well, we will go and have a little nosy round the loco and have a sort of look through the middle and go and find the buffet car as well. Do like a good buffet car. Now the nicest part of the East Coast starts north of Newcastle. Never done it north of Newcastle, Thomas. I say the approach to Newcastle, sort of York up, was quite nice through Darlington and Durham. That will seem quite a nice bit of route. I find the East Coast Main Line in general to be quite flat and boring. So I had a cab ride from Finsbury Park up via the Hertford Loop to Peterborough last week, and yeah, the East Coast Main Line just seems very flat and straight and really not all that interesting. I think I've said it before and I say it again, West Coast is the best coast. All opinions on my own and all of that. The one thing I do like about the East Coast is the open access operators. Shame they're all using the same rolling stock, with maybe the exception of Grand Central, but you know, it's all, everything is 800s now, isn't it? With like Hull Trains, Lumo, Grand Central. Grand Central, you know, using the 180s and the Voyagers, which is good to see. But yeah, it's just all the same stuff all the time. Rick Astro, how long does it take you to know how to drive a class of train? Really interesting question, Rick. I think a lot of it is traction knowledge and route knowledge combined. If you've got good route knowledge, you can probably convert onto a different type of train relatively easily. But a lot of it is route knowledge. I mean, my driving here is terrible because I don't know the grades. I don't know where I should be shutting off, where I should be accelerating. I don't know where the speed limits are. So my speed's up and down. I'm losing time. The drive's sloppy. Don't have decent braking points for the stations. Don't know how the train's going to perform coming into them. And it's more to do with route knowledge than traction knowledge. Daytona agree about the East Coast Main Line. Mark Bolam, even Grand Central has put in an order for 800s. Oh, that's such a shame. Because of course they got the 180s and the Voyagers at the moment, which are nice. I think they're nice anyway. Typical Nathan, would you like the West Highland line in Train Sim World? Never been on the West Highland, but I believe it's very, very scenic. So yeah, absolutely. Why not? Okay, speed's starting to creep a little bit, so I'm just going to drop a little bit of initial braking in, just to trim it down a tad. Daytona, don't know what's going on with the Class 99s at the moment, so yeah, hopefully I'll have a chance to get on them one day, but who knows. Saw one, not to sort of have a proper nosy round, but I saw one at Peterborough the other day. I'm not sure if I like the way they look or not. I think it's going to grow on me. They either look ugly or they look mean. I'm not sure which one. Maybe they're an acquired taste. Right, we've got an 80 coming out. Let's get a little bit of braking for that. Dynamic braking does sound nice. So 8.9 miles to Penrith. I reckon we've got time for another round.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Let's have those numbers between 1 and 36 in the chat. Let's have another round of Locomotive Livery Location. Jazil, all the 99s are on East Coast Mainline and Peterborough. They are at the moment. I think they've been a few places, but yeah, they're kind of just testing and stuff at the moment. So yeah, be looking forward to seeing them out in service. Okay, Lee, you're the first number on my screen. I need the third one. Just a little bit more break for that 80 there. Luke, you've got the second number. Lee Grant, you've got the third number, my friend. It's unlucky for some, but it's good for you. Number 13.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So here's how it works, guys. Box number 13, 10 seconds for the Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Ah, okay. Well, that's very, very useful and helpful. Have a guess, though. Mark, it's a bit like freight, all class 66s everywhere. Yeah, I mean, people hated 66s because, you know, they display so many classic British rail locomotives, pretty much everything, but they are the saviour of rail freight. You know, 66s are the Ron Seal of the train world. They do exactly what they say on the tin, quite literally tin. They'll get you home, they get the job done, they pull well, they're reasonably comfortable. They're just unexciting and boring, but they're workhorses and they just work. But we can't get any more. Don't meet emission standards, you just can't get them now. So something's got to replace them. Will it be the 99s? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Mark Bowlam, I love the class 66s. Yeah, I don't hate them, Mark. I just think from a railway enthusiast perspective, they display so many different types of locos. They've kind of made the freight seem very samey. But you know, they're good locos in their own right. Train boy, I'm guessing the photo is at London Bridge. Jazil, yeah, it's a refurbished 376. Brick Ashtray, are you sure that's the UK? The sky is not teeming down with rain. Ashley Coles has gone London Bridge. TP175 66s were known as the Red Death amongst enthusiasts. GJ, but previously class 25 were called Brats because they were everywhere. Yeah, I remember when I'd done a video about the class 313s when they had their farewell tour. It's on the channel somewhere. I've got some lovely drone shots of the 313s, and I basically compare it to the Flying Scotsman. You know, it's like, well, at the moment, it's just a 313. It's a pep. It's like, oh my god, it's gone by. It's, you know, lots of people don't really like them, uncomfortable. But similarly, like Pacers, you know, you're going to look back on those with nostalgia. People will. And I think it'll be the same with like Azumas at the moment. Oh, they're horrible. They're everywhere. 800s. You know, in 30, 40 years' time, you're going to be going, oh, I used to travel on those as a kid. Oh, I wish we still had those. There will be nostalgia for it. Train boy, Deborah, class 66, spot, drive or scrap. I'd say spot. No, probably. I don't know. Yeah, spot. They're not bad, train boy. I've got nothing against them. They're just everywhere. John Warwell, 99 is 66 upside down, so perhaps. Well, John, you might have hit on something there. You might have hit on something. Yeah, Lee, that gradient coming out of the docks at Liverpool, I believe that is a fair old gradient. Don't they normally use 60s on that? Or I think there's like a 69 that's allocated to banking duties coming out of there. That is with a B for Bravo. Mark Bowlam will never ride on a class 800 series train yet. You're not missing much, Mark, trust me. They're all the same. They're uncomfortable seats. They don't have much character. They're not bad trains, don't get me wrong. You know, they're pretty reliable. They do exactly what they say on the tin. They're efficient. They're just, yeah, you can't beat a nice set of Mark 3s or Mark 4s. Okay, got a 95 coming up, then a 75. We'll start getting some brake in. Paul, can I ask a very specific question about the Class 66s? How much of a difference does it make to drive a 66 compared to a normal 66? The 66s have definitely got more power, lower end. In terms of driving, it doesn't really make a huge difference. You do notice it when you've got a heavy train on though. The 66s do just have 66s do just have that that little bit extra going for them. Train boy, what do you think the Class 1 train was? How do you mean, train boy? You've lost me. Okay, I think we're going to start getting a little bit more braking now as we come down towards Penrith, as we're speeding as well. So, see if we can get a half decent station stop, because we haven't managed one of those yet. How are we doing for distance? 1.1 mile out. Lee, no, the 66.6s are the low geared ones, so they've only got a 60 mile an hour top speed, but they're designed to pull more weight, so they've got more tractive effort. The same engine, they're just re-geared, so they've got more grunt lower down. Mark Bowden, I love a 66 startup. I won't do that again. I thought we were going to have a half decent run into this station, but I've taken all the speed out way too early. Still, better this side of the signal than the other. Okay, Penrith on the approach to 91 of you lovely people watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, consider subscribing, whichever way around you want to do it. Okay, right, here we go. Let's see if we can get... That's why I drive freight trains, guys, and not passenger trains. It's my excuse, I'm sticking to it. Oh, this doesn't look too bad though, to be fair. Oh, that was a terrible stop at the end. It was going so well. It was going so well. Train boy, train class had to start somewhere. So, what do you think was the very first train class we had? Of course, the old reporting numbers were like D numbers, weren't they? DR and that sort of things, like pre-tops or... Yeah, really bad with my railway history. Was there ever a Class 1? I don't know if there was a Class 1 train boy. Typical Nathan, what's your opinion on battery trains? New technology is always good, I guess, so we just kind of see where it goes. I've not really had much to do with them. I think certainly on, like, you know, metro services or... I think there is some merit in them. Loving the hairstyle. Okay, 17 miles to Carlisle. We'll take the brakes straight off because we are on a downhill grade. Mark Bowen, wonder what routes for Train Sim World 6. What would everyone like to see? Lee Grant says, I'm hoping Greater Anglia. Greater Anglia would be a good one. I'd love to see the Great Eastern Main Line up to Felixstowe. Ipswich, maybe beyond. LRN, at places like Carlisle, why do freight drivers stop halfway up the platform? Don't know that location specifically, Lee. If you're doing a driver changeover, sometimes you'll stop halfway up the platform rather than going up to the end. There's no point going up to the end because you don't fit the platform anyway, so you normally just stop next to the crew room door. Yeah, maybe the signal's halfway up. I don't know Carlisle massively well. Mark Bowden, Newcastle to York would be pretty cool. John Moore, D1 was a peak. There we go. Train boy, that answers the question. Jazeel, Ely Junction would be fun. Yeah. Peter Evans, a class 73. Yeah, but what route would you get with that, Peter? Dave Holloway, a class 1 was a diesel shunter. We've blown the power. Was there a neutral section? Did I miss the neutral section? Typical Nathan, is it possible to guard on this? It is, yeah, and the guards controls are actually quite nice in the coaches. We're going to have a look at them in a minute. Right, let's have another go. It's me not knowing the route and where the neutral sections are. Lee Arren, I'd love to see updates for the Edinburgh to Glasgow and extension to the Fife Circle to Perth and Dunblane. Mark, never driven to Newcastle. That is well and truly out of my region. I mean, never say never, but it's definitely not on the radar. Ian Jackson, Midland Main Line South, so down to Bedford and St Pancras. Richard, you should try to guard on the 385 Edinburgh Glasgow. I don't find the guard mode particularly exciting. Typical Nathan, if I'm being honest. It was a well. You know, it was a popular feature that was widely requested, so I can see why they added it into game. But for me personally, I don't find it particularly exciting, so I don't tend to play guard mode. I mean, if it's something you guys want to see in a stream, then we can definitely do it. But I just find it a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit city there doing nothing. Lee Grant, when did TSW? About a year ago, Lee. Maybe not even that. We're kind of in this yearly upgrade cycle at the moment. Darius, Durham Coastline. Mark Bowden, guard mode was a bit gimmicky. Yeah, I mean, people wanted it, and I think people do enjoy it, but for me, I just don't get much out of it. Jazeel would like Midland Main Line South as well. I wouldn't mind seeing like the North Wales coast. I forget what the line's called up there. I think that would be quite nice. Extension to the Cardiff City would be pretty. I don't think we'll get an extension. I think we'll probably get a brand new route. Settler Carlisle's a possibility. Great Western Main Line even. I mean, Paddington, Reading, and then extend that down to Bristol or Cardiff would be superb, or maybe Exeter. Riviera Line would be cool. I mean, there are so many, aren't there? Elizabeth Line, C2C Network. I think C2C Network would be a win. If that's gone back into public ownership, it's probably quite easy to get the licensing for it as well. So that's just another Electrostyle, isn't it, really? Right, we're downhill, we're good for 100. Heading towards Carlisle. We haven't got much longer left, so...
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Yeah, Mark, I don't know if you were in the stream we done the other day. We done a stream just chatting about Train Sim World 6, and one of the things I said, and I think I mentioned it earlier on in this one, it's just random events, temporary speed restrictions, emergency speed restrictions, you know, P-way stuff on the track that you've got to acknowledge, more yellow signals. Just have a situation where a signaller is slow to pull off the signal. It does happen. You know, and you get checked down for no apparent reason, or when you're approaching a level crossing, the barriers are not down and you get stopped. All stuff like that I think would be pretty cool. I don't know if I'd like to see animals on the line and stuff like that. I think you're kind of getting into the realms of mild violence potentially, depending on how you handle that situation, but it definitely give you some sort of reason to look out the window. I think it's a great idea. Paul Robinson, Southwestern Main Line from Waterloo. Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see down, I mean, in an ideal world, Paul, Southampton, Basingstoke. Perfect. But I think we're more likely to get something like Windsor via Hounslow and Richmond, both ways to Windsor, or even Reading with the Windsor branch via Hounslow and Richmond would be pretty cool. Yeah, Southwestern Main Line, definitely. Okay, on the numbers. Lee RN. You are the third on my screen, my friend. And I think we've done it, number 13. Well, I'm pretty sure we've had that.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
We have had that, so we'll go to the next one, which is Dave Holloway with 32. I reckon that's given the game away. What is that, guys? Where is it? Lee RN on a Don Coffee video from Carlisle to Glasgow. The driver had a bird strike. They did half make some noise, Lee. It's yeah, they really do make some noise if you hit a bird. Not an everyday occurrence, but it's probably you get a couple a year. Pheasants tend to be the ones that you get during pheasant season. You can get more than a couple a year. Seb Welch likes train says 323. What's everyone else thinking? I think that was a good shout, that number. I think it was definitely a good shout. Mark Bolan, what's the most bizarre random event you have had while driving? Oh, that is a really good question. I don't know, because you kind of just take things in your stride, really. I'll have a think about that one, Mark, and get back to you. Ashley Cole, South Eastern High Speed, a new 200 livery. Seb Welch, it's a 323. Jazil, it's Northern. Thomas Cooper, Northern 323 Preston. Let's have another go and confirm that, shall we? Tolworth Broadway, hello!
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Lee Grant, with Farming Simulator, it's every 2 or 3 years when a game comes out. Do you have to pay for that though, Lee? Because I know with Train Sim, we're getting Train Sim World 6, which is a free upgrade. Which I think is good, it's the better way of doing it. But like I said in the previous, you know, it's not a new game, it's Train Sim World 5 version 2, or Train Sim World 4 version 3, or Train Sim World 3 version 3, you know, whichever way you want to look at it. That's all it is, it's just repackaged and rebadged as a new game, but it isn't a new game. Seb, 323 Birmingham New Street, Darius, Northern 323 at Doncaster. Seb's gone Northern 323 at Preston. Okay, Rick, your first one in. Dave, you're the second one this time. Pig and Bob, you're the third one, my friend, with number 23.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
We're going 23. Are there going to be any clues for that location? Here we go. Oh, that worked. There we go. Did I press the wrong one? I might have pressed the wrong one. Did you get 2 for the price of 1? What is it? Where is it? Go on, have a guess. Got an 85 coming up, which I'm not paying attention. PM, as I had a duck strike on the M4 in my truck last week. It was at 56 miles an hour. The duck was flat out, probably 50 miles an hour. Wow. Did it hit your windscreen, Peter, or do any damage to the truck? That's yeah. Doesn't sound very nice at all. Seb Welsh got 323 Preston. Thomas Cooper, they rebadged the game so they don't have to update the old routes. As long as they're putting new features into it, Thomas. I mean, like Train Sim World 6, we got Train Sim World 5, we got guard mode. What else do we get with 5? We got suspension updates, we got the editor. What was that with 4? I can't even remember. But yeah, as long as we get new features with it, I can sort of see why they want to do that. Okay, Andrew says crew, Seb says crew, Luke Snable says Preston, Tower Broadway's from Manchester Piccadilly. Thomas Cooper says 323 Preston next to a white 390. Who knows, guys? Who knows? Joel says 323 crew next to a 390. Glenn Fraser, I hit a pheasant in a 47 back in 86. In a 47 it made a loud bang. Oh yeah, we used to hit them, still happens, when I used to drive Electrostars, because you've got like the, they call them the fly doors at the front, the yellow doors that open for the, when you have the corridor coupling. And if you hit something on those, it doesn't half make a bang, because those doors they're just like little metal doors, they're not particularly solid. Yeah, that really does make a noise. Absolutely does make a noise. Drop a bit of braking, we are speeding a little bit there. Mark Bowden will probably get a 99 in TSW6. Yeah, another freight loco would be good though. I'd be here for that. I definitely wouldn't say no to another freight loco. Personally, I'd probably like a 68 or something like that, or 56 would be pretty cool. Or a 70, that would be good. Yeah, Thomas, the lighting on the old routes is rubbish. High intensity headlights looks really bad on old routes. Yeah, but that's progress, isn't it, Thomas? You know, technology's moved on, game development's moved on. That's just progress. You know, if you go and look at 20 warning, nice. If you go and look at you know, really old computer games, it's just progress. Okay, I didn't realise we were so close to Carlisle, so I'm seriously braking. Said, well, no worries, my friend. We are I'm probably only about 5 or 10 minutes away from finishing up, my friend, but good to have you here. At least 68 with nuclear flask train. I would love to see the East Coastway route extended over to Ashford International via the marshes with a 170. A 68 runs down the Dungeness branch. That would actually work. That would be pretty cool. I'd be here for that. Okay, as we roll into Carlisle, we're gonna have another round of Locomotive Location livery before we finish up, and we are going to go and have a look through the engine room, see if we can find the vac brake changeover, and I want to go and have a look at the buffet. So,
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
lovely clickety click on the jointed track. Seb, no, won't be streaming tomorrow because tomorrow I have got to drive the Rail 200 Inspiration train from London Victoria to the Bluebell Railway. So yeah, no streaming for me tomorrow. John Moore, 68 for me, 70 is ugly. I can see why you'd say that, John, but I quite like 70s. Joe, I wonder what new features TSW6 will have. Yeah, indeed. Same here, Joe. Okay, we've got the road into platform 3. Third number on the screen is Jazil with number 16. And I'm going to do the third and fourth number. I'm going to be kind to you. So we're going to go 16 and Glenn, 33. And that'll be your lot then. Hopefully you'll be able to confirm what it is. Lee says, I kind of like the 70s. Cool with podgy cheeks. Jazil after Bluebell. Derby, yeah. I will hopefully be at Derby as well. So if anyone is going to the Greatest Gathering and you do see me there, do feel free to come and say hello. Are we going to get a half decent stop here at Carlisle? The answer is no. 200 and is that signal for me? I'm guessing that signal's not mine, that red on the ground. We'll soon find out. Hopefully it's not going to kick me out. Don't think that's meant. I think that applies to the track on the right there. It should have an arrow on it. It does have an arrow on it, yeah. That's not mine. Good to know. Chernobyl 4 would be great to see the North Wales coaster with the Class 175 and the TC1 Super Voyager. Cheers, Seb. Oh, come on, keep moving. Ah, not one good stop throughout the whole run. That is absolutely dreadful. Okay. Right, why it's doing its thing.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
I'm going to give you 16 and I'm going to give you 33 because that's what's been asked for. And let's give you 33. And I really want to help you with that location, guys, before we finish up. So do you know what? I'm feeling really generous. I'm going to give you 11 and possibly 18, I think, which might help with your location. I'll just give you a couple of minutes to have a look at that. We're going to have a look through this switch. We'll have a look through the coaches and then we'll call it a night. Go on, get your guesses in. It's your last chance. Somehow we got a platinum medal on that. It was absolutely terrible. Return to free roam. Here we go. Okay, so corridor light switches. Hot plate switch. Nice. Lots of Lots of nice interactive features on this. Bardic lamp on and off. Yeah. DSD release. Yeah, I do like the fact that it's got lots of interesting features on it. Okay, let's go into the engine room where it makes lots of noise. We are looking for the vac brake changeover, which I think there is a panel somewhere in here with various bits and bobs on it. There we go. So, battery isolating switch. Can we cut the train out then? That's pretty cool. So that should turn it off completely, which is quite nice. Have we got any changeover for the spare oil pump, traction motor isolating switches? Yeah, lots of systems modelled on this. It's really cool. Okay, maybe you can't change it between VAC and... I don't know if 86s were fitted with VAC. I'm just guessing they were fitted with VAC. Yeah, Thomas, that's what I'm thinking. It's air brake only. Round the corner at the top says TP. 86 is dual braked. Someone point me in the right direction. That's your AWS switch. Can't see anything obvious. Maybe I've missed it. Must have missed it. I would expect there to be a brake frame somewhere. Rheostatic brake isolation and switch. Yeah, I if it is there, I can't see it. Yeah, I don't know is the easy answer to that. We will go and have a quick look through the coaches as well. Near the MCB panel, top left. Oh, I can't get back on. Let's see if it'll let me in the rear door. Come back. That's not supposed to happen. Have we got another one? We'll have to just spawn one in and have a quick look. Check the front, there's no vac pipe. That sounds like it might be a 47 on the front of that. Yeah, that's no good. Let's spawn an 86. Don't try this at home, folks. Yeah, it's got a vac pipe on the front. Look, vac pipe's there. So can we use it as a translator between vac and air? So MCB panel. Let's go and find the MCB panel. Ah, there we go. Air brake goods, vacuum brake passenger, vacuum brake goods. Yes, it is there, guys. We do have it. We do have it. Excellent. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to check out before we round up and finish the locomotive location livery is just the buffet car. Now, has this formation got one? I didn't see one. Typical Nathan Richie, you should do the 171 on the Brighton main line with the Southern reskin one day. I've done it, typical Nathan. I've done that as soon as the 171 came out. The 170 came out. We can do it again though. No, can't see a buffet on that rake. Okay, I think we're just going to have to spawn one in. Mark II. Is it BSO? Mark II Cs, I think they were, weren't they? Yeah, it was a sell us fuel run. Yeah, Jazil, I think that's the one we done. Eastbourne to Brighton and then over. I tell you what, let's just click restart on that and go and have a walk through the coaches. This is the last thing I want to see. Okay, what we were reckoning. Thomas Cooper says it's crew on the locomotive location livery. Luke Snowball says Northern 323, TP 397. TP 175 says Stockport. Should we do it? Let's do it.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Okay, guys, I can tell you that Great Western Photography got this right quite early on, which was remarkable. Let's press the button. Thank you very much, Londo Spark, for sending me this one.
To reveal today's Locomotive Livery Location.
Yeah, Northern 323. I think a lot of people got that one there. Your location? Stoke-on-Trent, of all places. I'm pretty sure Great Western Photography said Northern 323 Stoke-on-Trent, and that is an Avanti West Coast Pendolino to the right. But yeah, there we go. That is what we are looking for. If you do want to send me any pictures of locomotive location livery, you can do via the social media channels which I put on the screen for you now, or via the Discord server. Right, let's go for a little walk through the coaching stock. Oh, this brings back memories. Oh, okay, not that way. Proper guards brake. And we've got in the guards brake. This is cool. We've got the proper. So that's a little oven, so you can heat your sandwiches up in there. Train lighting on. Local on, local off. Nice. Emergency brake valve. It's a brake pipe pressure. Does that work when you're doing guard mode though? Does it allow you to stop the train by dropping the brake pipe so we can go back and do a brake test? And you also got communications cupboard. Public address system on.
We will shortly be arriving at Preston. The next station stop is Preston. The next stop is Preston.
Yeah, I like that. Guard heater switch. Yeah, got some decent features on the emergency screw coupling there. Yeah, you got some decent features on there, which is quite nice. Parking brake. Yeah, I like that. Guards fan looks really cool. That's the Mark 1 Guards fan. Certainly is. How many sandwiches do I take to work? None. I'm really bad. I normally end up buying sandwiches. I do like Mark 2s. I'm a fan of Mark 2s. Right, let's see if we can find this buffet. Oh, first class. Pardon me. Toilet engaged. Train lights on and off. Oh, hello. Yeah, we'll give up control. Somebody else can drive it. Ah, that's a pretty nice feature. I like that. Can we sit here? We can't sit there. Yeah, because I think all the buffets we've had previously have just been shuttered off. So the fact that that's not, that's yeah, I like that. What have we got on sale? Skill issue milk chocolate. Chocolate Choco. The chocolate. Mr. Potato. Paps. Extra cream biscuits. Oh, pork pies. Ham salad sandwich. Sold by 20th of the 7th, 86. That's today's date, 20th of the 7th. I wonder if that updates with the date. That'd be pretty cool. Ham and cheese sandwich. Curly ham and cheese sandwich. Nice. I like that. Oh, we got a price list here as well. Tea per pot per person, 30p. 15p for a cup of tea. Crikey. Bovril butter cereal with milk. Cheese and biscuits. Ham roll or sandwich. That's ridiculous, isn't it? That's so cheap. Oh. Can we get... We can't get in the buffet though. I don't think there's anything else to see up here. I just want to check if that emergency brake valve will actually stop the train. I'm not sure if it will, but let's. I'm gonna make a sandwich as well. I think in a minute. If only that things were that cheap these days. Yeah, that's inflation for you, I guess. Okay, we're just going to go down to the front. I just want to see if the emergency brake valve in the guards compartment will actually stop the train. My suspicion is it won't. Because the kind of AI is not that intelligent. But, hey, Rex Tactics, we are literally just about to finish up, my friend. It's good to have you here all the same. Do. Right, here we go. So, yeah, so I think if we dump the brake pipe... Yeah, the brake pipe's already on 0, look, so... Yeah, that doesn't work. That's a shame. And someone said we can window hang as well. Oh, that's naughty. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. There we go, guys. We are going to leave it there. That is the Class 86 by Just Trains. Gotta say, I am a fan. I am really, really liking that. That is nice. Do I prefer it over the 87? Not sure. Not sure, but it's definitely up there. Really nice add-on. I think everything that Just Trains have put out has been absolutely fantastic. It genuinely has been really good. So long may it continue, and I look forward to seeing what we get next from them. If you haven't already, guys, please do hit the like button, consider subscribing. It really, really does help me out on the channel. And if you want to send me any pictures for Locomotive Livery Livery, or you want to get involved in the community, then head over to the Discord server. You'll find an invitation link in the description below. Or check out and send your pictures via my social media channel, which are on the screen for you right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Can you hear some music playing? Here we go. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and hope to see you in another stream or video very soon.